There is a lot of drama in the Pokemon TCG right now. The demand for the Pokemon cards is just ridiculous. Scalping is higher than it's been in a long time, probably higher than I've ever seen it. But even without the scalping, I feel like demand is just too high for Pokemon to keep up with. Pokemon investing has become a lot more popular. Pokemon Pocket released as a huge success. Pokemon content creation is becoming bigger than ever. There's like new people making content every day, whether it's investing content, opening content, like ripping ships, like set reviews, you name it. People are doing content, new people every single day. People are hungry and waiting for the release date for Pokemon Legends ZA as well as Gen 10. I'm sure we're going to be getting announcements for at least Legends by the end of February at Pokemon Day. And this week, of course, is Prismatic Evolutions, and it might be the most hyped Pokemon set of all time. And that's where a lot of the drama is right now. As Pokemon popularity has just been growing over the last 3 months, leading up to the release of Prismatic Evolutions, like it doesn't make sense to me, but it seems Pokemon wasn't prepared for this set to be popular. I don't know how they didn't see the popularity with a set like Evolving Skies. Like, the Umbreon card has just been booming. It's not been slowing down at all. People love the Evolutions. They're possibly the most popular Pokemon out there. And releasing TCG Pocket, it just seems like they had this strategy to bring people into the hobby, to release something super cool that everyone's going to love. And then they decided, let's not make enough of it. I don't know if they're printing at maximum potential, but if they are, they really need to buy some more facilities or figure out a way to like bring in more partners, supply more product, or figure out a way to release it at a better rate. Like, they should have started printing this set like 2 years ago if they were expecting to release Pokemon TCG Pocket and have all this hype going into the last year of Scarlet and Violet. But it seems like they didn't even expect this insane amount of demand behind their products. Some other creators have made videos similar to this talking about some of the theories or some of the possible issues going on behind Prismatic Evolutions and the Pokemon supply as a whole. Obviously, PokeRev just made a big video talking about the state of the TCG and his concerns, and I'll touch on a lot of that in this video. Rob Burns also made a video touching on Alex Ketchum's points in a tweet talking about a few theories he has to the reason of the difficulty, I guess, with the Prismatic Evolutions pull rates, which we're going to touch on here. But anyways, it seems Prismatic Evolutions is just like the most popular, most hyped up set we've ever seen. A lot of packs have already been opened, and it seems like pull rates are just ridiculous. It seems like if you want to pull that specific card like the Umbreon, you're looking at ripping about 1,000 packs at typical odds. You could pull it in one pack, that's always a potential, but in reality it looks like it's going to be extremely difficult to pull a certain card. You'd be way better off just picking it up. But anyways, some issues Alex brought up about Prismatic. One theory is the Pokemon Company wanted to experiment with more difficult pull rates to match other TCGs like One Piece. I'm not too familiar with these other TCGs. Like, One Piece is just an example, maybe like Wise Schwartz or whatever, like Dragon Ball Super, I don't know. But they have cards that are like a one in a few case pull rate. Pokemon might have wanted to test out SIRs being more difficult, like a 1 in 100 packs or whatever pull rate. Maybe certain ones are going to be more difficult to pull than others. We don't really know yet. There are over 30 SIRs in this set, so even if it is like your typical odds of like 1 in 90 packs to pull an SIR, that's what it's been in the last few sets. It's going to take like a lot of packs to pull what you're looking for. Another theory brought up was maybe there was some sort of theft similar to Fusion Strike, where someone was caught stealing a ton of cards from the factory. They kind of sold themselves out by just going to a TCG store and trying to sell like 100 Gengar VMAXs. Obviously, that's one of the dumbest things you could do, stealing from a company like Pokemon, but going ahead and just dumping it all at once, just sell one every week or two for years. And, Buddy was selling them when they were way cheaper than they are now anyways, so obviously not the smartest dude. But that's an option. Maybe there was a theft in the Prismatic Evolutions hits. Maybe a bunch of the evolutions got stolen during production somewhere along the line, and it wasn't caught, and that's causing pull rates to be way more difficult. I know there's been rip and shippers that opened like 1,600 packs or 2,000 packs, and they only pulled 2 evolution SIRs. That really hurts. Imagine that happening to you. Like, you're chasing a card, you open an ETB and you pull nothing. You open another one, nothing, nothing, nothing. But that's a reality we might have with this set. Another theory at hand was weighing packs or somehow scanning packs to figure out if there's a hit in it, and only opening or selling for the rip and ships, I guess, selling the packs that they know don't have a significant hit in it. We've seen over the last year, people have invented like a CAT scan machine sort of thing that can scan packs or products and show you exactly what is in it. Like you could scan a booster box and figure out if it has an alternate art Moonbryon or whatever before opening it. Weighing packs has also been a thing for a very long time. I know even with like Fusion Strike, I saw people in Walmart weighing packs. I don't really think it works as well with modern packs. Of course, vintage has always been a thing, but maybe it's possible with this set. Like scanning, weighing packs, there could be a way to kind of detect what your hits are going to be. And, you know, open one here and there to keep people like coming back to show they exist, but that could be a potential too. There could be something fishy going on, is basically what Alex is saying. It doesn't seem like your typical Pokemon TCG set opening. Like it just seems like there's something going on that doesn't seem normal. Now that could be because of the lack of illustration rares as well. They took away illustration rares for the first time in a long time, it seems, to add in Pokeballs and Master Balls. I think the English fans have been wanting that because we had that with Japanese 151 and it was a hit. And these new Pokeballs and Master Ball Hollows look way better than they did at 151. But at the loss of illustration rares, is it really worth it? I don't really think so, because, you know, it's a fancy reverse hollow pattern. Basically, you know, it's a little bit more rare. It could be really cool to pull that Master Ball of like your favorite Pokemon, but I think a lot of people would rather have like a pool of whatever, even just 12 illustration rares, and you know, you get your illustration rare one in every 4 packs or whatever. Usually you got like a 25% chance. That's fun to open up. Gives you more substance than just chasing SIRs and pulling EXs and full art trainers. That's another thing. It seems like EX cards, just like your typical hits, are a lot more difficult to get. Like people are opening 10 packs and only hitting like 2 EX cards. Like imagine opening $150 ETB and getting 2 EX Flareons or something. Like those have to be like $5 cards at the most. I'd be so upset. And yeah, touching on that, $150 ETBs, like packs are going for, right now it's like 18 bucks. I'm going to say $20 just for the sake of argument, because I'm sure they're going to hit $20. $20 packs, like who are buying these? Like who's buying these? The people that are buying packs for $20 are hurting the hobby as well. It's not just the sellers. If you're willing to spend that premium on a pack of cards that's not even out yet, then people are going to keep selling it at that price. Like if there are buyers, people are going to keep selling. If you can't sell a product at $20 and you're forced to sell it at 15, then, you know, the graph is going to go down. It's not just going to keep going up. Like if everyone is just bidding over each other to grab the packs, why sell it for 15 when you can sell it for 20? Someone's going to buy it. So if you're overpaying for these packs, just don't. Like it's not that big of a deal. I get it. Like everyone loves Pokemon. I get the investing standpoint. Like there's money to be made in the hobby, but man, just relax. It's just holographic cardboard after all. There's going to be other Pokemon card sets. Odds are, you know, this is a really cool set. Like it's hard to say if there'll be a better set, especially anytime soon, but there's going to be other sets with other huge chase cards down the road. It always happens. Don't be spending 20 bucks on a booster pack of Prismatic Evolutions. Like that's just silly. And that kind of gets me on to some of PokeRev's points. It's like the average collector is going to be hurting right now. Like they're not going to be able to open packs. They're not going to be able to find packs because like the situation with the scalping and the investing, and even like I feel like for me, like if I show up at Walmart and there's a whole bunch of ETBs, I've had this argument with other people, or this conversation, I guess. If you show up and you're the first one to a restock, there's 10 ETBs of Prismatic Evolutions. Do you buy them all? I feel like I would feel like an idiot not buying them all, looking at the resale value, like just that market value. Whether or not I'm going to sell them, I might want to open them next week or in 2 weeks or in a month or whatever. Like whether you're selling them or whether you're collecting them, I feel like the first person, if there's no limits at like a Walmart, a Target, a GameStop, Toys R Us here in Canada, whatever it is, if there's no limit and you're the first one to show up, you're buying every single Prismatic Evolutions product. And that's just because the secondary market is so crazy right now. So kids that are going to Walmart on the way home from school on Friday on release day, they're not going to find anything. Sucks to suck. Someone's going to take their day off work and buy it all. And then if you can't get it, like if you're a kid or a parent that's not super into the Pokemon hobby or doesn't understand it, like you're not going to go on Kijiji and buy $150 ETB when you know they're 50, 60 bucks at Walmart. So like kids and casual collectors just don't stand a chance here. Like they're not going to get the product. Like it's just like, why even try, you know? I feel like this is going to be one of the worst releases. I have some plans for it that I'm going to touch on later in this video, but you know, stay tuned on release day. I'm going to try to get a video out. I'm going to try to find some products. We'll have to see. But man, there's other drama. Like that's just not even it with Prismatic. There's LGS stores that have been canceling pre-orders. That's either due to the lack of allocations because so many other stores and new stores want product. The distributors have to like spread it thinner across all the stores to keep them, retain them as customers. So if some of these stores sold whatever 1,000 ETBs on pre-order and now they're only getting 150 ETBs, they're going to have 850 ETB orders canceled. If they didn't put limits, that might not be that many customers, but at the same time, it's like you're going to have some upset customers. And that's just like, that just sucks, basically. It's just, basically, you should just learn from it. Don't pre-order your items out if you don't know how many you're getting. It's just, it seems like bad business practice. Obviously, you think you're going to get more, pre-order them out, but you got to be reserved with those numbers a little bit, especially at a time like this. Another issue is some stores have just canceled their pre-orders because they see the market price is way too high. Like if I sold you an ETB at $50 and before I've even received the ETB to ship it to you, it's going for $150 on the secondary market. Well, why not just cancel your pre-order, put it back up on release day, and somebody's going to buy it for $150? Obviously, that's kind of a shitty thing to do. That's a pretty scummy business practice, but I guarantee you people are doing it. I don't know any names of stores that are doing it, but I know I've heard it happening locally here in Toronto. But man, if that happens to you, like if you got your pre-order canceled and then you see that website or that LGS has Prismatic Evolutions on their website for sale, like don't do business with them. That's just, don't support that type of behavior. But now moving on from Prismatic Evolutions, it seems like the exact same thing is going to happen with Journey Together. Within hours of the reveal for this set, it went up on the Pokemon website. Everything sold out within minutes and is now on eBay for like 2-3 times MSRP. And this set doesn't even come out for another 2 months, like 2.5 months, I think. Nobody even knows how much they're going to be allocated. Like not just the people who scalped out the Pokemon Center and are reselling them on eBay, but stores in general. Like I'm sure there's a lot of middlemen here. There's a lot of LGS stores that have no idea what they're getting, and they might make the same mistake as they did with Prismatic Evolutions. And like another note for Journey Together, the set kind of looks like a letdown. They've made a huge deal about the return of trainers Pokemon, but there's only 4 trainers represented in the set. And I mean, I'm sure there's fans out there. There's fans for Lily, there's fans for N. Who else do you have? You have Iono and Hop. Like there's people that like these trainers, but are any of these trainers like huge notable standout trainers? I don't think so. I'd come out the gate swinging with something like Blue's Gyarados or Red's Pikachu or something like that, right? Like Misty's Psyduck. Like there's a lot better you could do, and I feel like there's a lot better they could do, and I feel like we're going to see better down the line. But for the introduction, I'd come out the gate swinging on something like that, especially to follow up Prismatic Evolutions. And I feel like typically it'd be a set a lot of people would want to skip. Like it seems like a battle style kind of set where people just aren't going to be super excited for it. But because of the market being so hot right now, whether or not it's a good set, it could be the worst set of all time. It's going to get scalped like crazy. As of now, looking at the set, I have no interest in opening it up, but knowing that it's going to be so difficult to get these cards, I've pre-ordered more booster boxes of this than I have of any other set. Like I'm not huge on keeping cases of booster boxes, but for Journey Together, I was able to find a good price. I pre-ordered it, and hopefully I can still get it at that price and it's not canceled and sold to me at double. We'll have to wait and see on that. But basically, like it looks like there's a ton of issues right now, and I'm sure Pokemon is aware of these issues. They just haven't said anything, and they need to communicate like what they're going to do about the problem. I know in the past they talked about it, I think before Shining Fates, like when Logan Paul did that box break thing, during the COVID times, Champions Path, Vivid Voltage, like Pokemon was super hot. Obviously they weren't ready for that because that was just like an out of nowhere surge in popularity when the TCG was like not too popular before Vivid Voltage. And they announced, they were trying to acquire more printers, they were going to print more product, they were doing whatever they could to meet demand, and I feel like they never quite caught up. Like demand kind of lulled out a little bit at the beginning of Scarlet and Violet, even the end of Sword and Shield. Like it wasn't hard to find Lost Origin at MSRP on release. It wasn't hard to find Crown Zenith. I mean, it was harder to find Crown Zenith on release, but it was doable. And like even 151, that was probably the most difficult, and I was able to find it on release. I was able to get pre-orders at a good price. That's just not happening now. Another point that PokeRev said was like, we need to like keep voicing our opinion, voicing the demand for Pokemon cards, and convince Pokemon somehow to print more. Like the more people that talk about it, I'm sure a lot of people have been. I've been seeing videos all day about the drama behind the Pokemon TCG, all the issues going on. And as long as creators keep making videos, I'm sure that Pokemon is going to have to do something. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what they can do about it as of like now. I'm sure they're talking about it while I'm recording this video. That's one thing too. I feel like PokeRev's the only like really big creator that's touched on the issues right now. Like a lot of the creators that are sponsored or affiliated in some way with the Pokemon Company International haven't really talked about it. Like, I'm interested to see what people like Real Breaking Nate or like Leonhardt or Unlisted Leaf have to say about this. Typically by now they've opened up product on their channels. Usually the Friday before release, they have something from the Pokemon Company that they're opening up to promote the set. Maybe the Pokemon Company doesn't want people promoting the set because they know it's just too hyped up already. Or maybe these guys just don't want to like sour their relationship with Pokemon, so they're not really talking about it. And that's totally understandable. But I'm just really interested to see if they have any sort of comments on the situation. I know there's like not really a ton they can do about it. They can just, talk about the issues like I'm talking about them, like everyone else is talking about them. But anyways, the more people that talk about it, the more likely it's going to be addressed. Eventually, supply is going to have to go up because I don't feel like demand is going to go down. The only way I see that happening is the more casual or more your typical Pokemon card collectors, like kids, players, whatever, casual collectors, are just going to stop picking it up because it's too stressful. It's too difficult to get product. And I don't blame them. It is a stressful market right now to be in. But I mean, if demand even slows down, I don't really feel like prices are going to necessarily drop because the hardcore collectors, the people that are buying $20 packs of Prismatic Evolutions aren't going to go anywhere. They're so committed to the hobby. Unless they go bankrupt and they physically cannot buy more Pokemon cards, I don't see them leaving. So I feel like as long as there's those people that are willing to pay 2, 3, 4 times MSRP for a product, the products are going to keep getting sold at 2, 3, 4 times MSRP. But anyways, I think that's really all I want to touch on in today's video. Like, we all just got to try to stay positive. I don't really like talking about the drama, talking about the negative sides of, the Pokemon collecting hobby, because it shouldn't really be a negative thing. But it's important to touch on because it does affect everyone. I'm not nearly as excited for Prismatic Evolutions as I was when the set was announced. After seeing like the value and the pack openings and the pull rates, like I feel like it's just not really worth opening. It feels stupid to open up a $20 booster pack of a brand new set and have like a 1% chance of getting a card that's worth $20. And I know it's not all about the value of the cards, but when the product is so expensive, whether or not you're paying MSRP or you're paying market price, knowing that you're opening a $20 pack and you pull nothing, like, that's just a piss off, right? Like I mentioned earlier, if I spend $150, like if I FOMO like crazy, like I need to open this on release, guys, I'm going to go and I'm going to spend 150 plus, maybe by the time release day, 160 bucks, 170 bucks on an ETB, and I pull 2 EXs and a reverse hollow Pokeball, like I'd be rattled. Like I would not be opening another one. I did that with Shrouded Fable. I opened like 30 something packs of Shrouded Fable and I pulled the same A spec twice. Not a single EX card, not a single illustration rare. And I was just like, well, this is not the set for me, guys. I'm never touching this again. And that set's not even expensive, right? Like if I spent way more money on that and I opened it and pulled nothing, I'd be rattled. Like I would not be touching it. I definitely would not be opening it again. And I fear that's going to happen with Prismatic Evolutions. But we'll see. I don't really have anything pre-ordered. Like, I got lucky and I have PC ETBs coming on release day, but I'm definitely not opening those. I'd have to be an idiot to open those up. With the market value so high and those being exclusive products, like, it just doesn't make any sense to crack one of those open unless you chase the Pokemon Center stamped promos. Other than that, I have one poster collection on pre-order at GameStop. I pre-ordered 2, which was the limit, but one's for my sister, so I'm not going to open both of them up. Maybe she'll open it up on the channel. Who knows if we'll even be able to get those on release. Like, maybe they won't have enough to fill the pre-orders and they'll have to give it to me 2 weeks down the line. But if I get that, I'm going to open it up. Either way, my plan of action is going to be to visit a whole bunch of GameStops, Toys R Us, Walmart, all that stuff in my area, and buy whatever I can. Like, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be that guy who buys every single ETB if I even find any, but I'm going to try to buy something, and hopefully I have at least one pack to open up on release. I'll have a video on release day regardless, kind of just documenting the journey, documenting if any stores in my area see product at all. So be sure to check back on Friday to see that video, and hopefully we can all find something. Best of luck to everyone out there looking for Prismatic Evolutions. Remember, don't overspend on this set. Don't be that guy spending $20 on a booster pack. If we don't pay the market price, it's going to have to drop. It's easy as that. Don't support scalping. Don't support your local game stores if they canceled your pre-orders and they're still selling it at market value. And yeah, hopefully things settle down. Honestly, I'd rather Pokemon cards be way less expensive right now. I'd rather the market just kind of die out because right now the market is really stressful. But, anyways, hang in there, guys. Try not to dwell on the negativity and stay positive. Don't FOMO. There will always be other parties to go to. If you can't get Prismatic on release, just voice your opinion. Like, voice how you felt on release day. Hopefully, Pokemon realizes what's going wrong and they print a ton of this set and we can all get our hands on it at some point. But I think we're all going to have to be really patient with it. I wouldn't worry too much. Hopefully, over the 9-month release period that they have planned, there's going to be a ton of product trickling out. But, fingers crossed, we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this rant of a video. I just felt like it was important to kind of touch on it. And yeah, hopefully next video is not going to be as negative and it can be something more positive. I do have a video going over my predictions for the Sword and Shield market in 2025 coming in the next couple days. I'm going to try to make a tier list of all the Prismatic Evolutions SIRs before Prismatic Evolutions releases. And then, of course, on release day, I'll have a Prismatic Evolutions video. At least something is going to come out, whether I fail or I have packs to open, we'll just have to wait and see. And then one more announcement. I have a busy week planned. I'm going to be at the CSC FanCon show in Mississauga on Saturday the 18th. If you see me walking around, come say hi. I know a couple of you have commented you've seen me out in the wild, but you didn't want to bug me. Feel free to bug me. I'm always happy to chat Pokemon for a few minutes. I'll have some cards with me too. Maybe we can do a trade. I'm looking for Trainer Gallery cards, Galarian Gallery cards. Bring them if you got them. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.